on to the second of the itinerary. Um, Thursday, I could have streamed. Thursday, I had. No, not Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I could have streamed. I had time. I had everything ready. Uh, there was nothing stopping me from streaming, and I didn't because I found something. And that's what I'm going to share with you now. And let me. No, we don't want that. We need a second image. Okay. And this is going to take an excessive amount, an absurd, ridiculous amount of explaining. Okay, so I'm going to need you to strap in. We're going to go to some very unhealthy spaces here. Okay, oh my god, what the oh, right, the fucking color's off on that. Hold on. What have I done? I'm going to just remove that. I'm going to remove, that was the fucking, that was Raiden's ass. That was what that was. Oh, fuck, I'm never going to get that back, too. Shit. Oh well. There we go. Okay. Alright, now, what I found was a very special Nuzlocke comic. And I am going to take some time in my typical stupid fashion and explain to you what a Nuzlocke comic is. Not for those of you my age who grew up in the 2000s and you already know what the fuck I'm talking about because you played Pokemon since you're 8. Alright, just bear with me. This whole section, and again, there's no one in the stream right now. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm talking to the future people who are watching this. And honestly, I'm talking to like the people in 5 years down the line when Google has finally merged with Microsoft and Disney. And we've got this like fucking infosphere monopoly. And no one can find anything anymore because everything's just fucking spammed by AI algorithm bots. You know what I'm talking about. It's coming. But, fuck, I'm umming again. Stop it. Okay. I'm going to explain this as if this is the first time you've ever heard of these things existing in your life, and you might, okay? That's for the people I'm talking to. If you know what I'm talking about, you can just blaze right past this section. I'll even try and timestamp it when I clip it. I've not figured out how to do timestamps yet, but I'll figure it out for this, okay? Just bear with it. So I'm doing a Nuzlocke. This is a Nuzlocke right now, right? And I think I actually need to change. I do need to change the stream because I forgot. Randomized Nuzlocke. There. Okay. Fix that. Okay. A Nuzlocke in the yesteryear of like 2009, 2010 was not called Nuzlocke yet. Okay, it was a challenge mode because the forums and the image boards, and all those kind of proto-social network areas that existed back then. I might be talking more like 2005, 10, I don't know. You know what I'm talking. The areas before social media became a thing, and social networking. God damn it. It just will not stop. I need to see like a speech therapist or something. Shit. Pokemon was considered easy. And we're talking, this is I think Gen 4 or Gen 5 Pokemon. We hadn't hit Gen 6 yet, because the 3DS hadn't come out. Pokemon was considered too easy. People started making their own rules, and that's where we get Nuzlocke rules from. If it faints, it dies. You can only catch one. You can only catch the first one in a route. You gotta nickname them all so there's something, they're memorable, they mean something to you. That was kind of the basic core set, right? And I think one guy in particular made a comic. And that became the Nuzlocke comic because it was his Nuzleaf that died first, right? and kind of kicked off that. I don't think he was the first, but that was the first one that really picked, like, you know what I'm talking, like, getting momentum, like, how there's never, like, the first thing's never the one that really gets picked up, like PUBG. It's always Fortnite. There's always, like, one or two or three down the line that really are the ones that garner public attention, right? And so this whole fad of making your own Nuzlocke comics really burst in, and it wasn't just comics. People would do stories. People would do write-ups. I've done playthroughs on Twitter where I did solo challenges in like kind of a write-up format rather than like making a video because that was a lot easier for me to do. Actually, it's the only way I can do it because I can't really make videos unless I'm streaming something. You know, and so there's various formats, but the comics were always the most popular because you could, like, you know, read them like a comic. So 2009, 2010, 2011 was about when this whole thing was really kicking off. And since then, it's kind of died off. I think people are still doing them, but a lot of the artists from back in that time either wrapped up or put a pin in it and never came back, you know, and they disappeared. And the sad thing of the 2000s, mid 2000s, and early 2010s is we're beginning to lose a significant chunk of the stuff because we didn't archive it properly, right? We didn't put in fail safes for if a website loses its web address and everything that was hosted on it's gone. You know, that kind of stuff. We're centralizing archives now, but we're only really setting them up for DMCA targets. You know, that kind of stuff. So a lot of things are disappearing just because we never thought we'd actually need to stop and put them somewhere else, or someone has it but we haven't heard from that person in 20 years. You know, that kind of stuff. Or like the worst, I think, egregious thing of all is Discord. I think Discord is a really bad thing for the internet because all of these communities that were once public that you could find and join and uh, look at what they're doing and what they have to offer are now going into these private servers where you have to know someone like who knows how to get in and knows someone who will vet for you. You know, it's like they've all sequestered themselves back into these little back rooms, and no one shares anything anymore. You know, like the archive Discord that someone was nice enough to invite me to, where I actually met JoJo. Um, they put it on Reddit, and like within like a week, the guy who owned that Discord quit, and we've not heard from him since because of internet drama. You know, it's that kind of shit. It happens. Anyway, so that's what a Nuzlocke comic is. A lot of people would take these experiences, and this was like, you might be wondering, like, okay, why didn't they just like have a video or do a stream? This was before streaming. Okay, we didn't have streaming yet. We had Justin TV. We had like very stupidly basic ways of streaming video games, and it was like at 240p's and 5 frames a second. All right, and we had microphone audio quality that was worse than this, if you can believe it. All right, it was bad. Things didn't work. And again, even if they did, and I'm sure a lot of them did, if they did, those streams are gone. Justin TV did not have an archive. They had no way of archiving your former streams. So unless you were recording your stream at the same time as you're playing, I think XSplit, was that what we used to use? Or no, Livestream had their own app or something. I don't remember. I used to, like, this was 2013. I tried streaming. That was over 10 years ago. Oh my god. So again, a lot of this stuff's just been lost to time. It's really hard to find them now. So enter this, and I'm gonna make this bigger. I'm gonna make this big, so everyone can look at it. This is a Nuzlocke comic that I just happened to stumble upon last week. Alright? And it has consumed my life since then. And I want you to stop. And I want you to look at this. And I want you to understand when I'm saying this with 100% honesty. And 100%, I'm forgetting the word, genuine, you know what I mean, genuine. I'm being fully candid, cards on the table, not a bit, not a meme. I'm not trying to fucking, be a funny man here. I'm not trying to, like, say something controversial or say something stupid for the internet brownie bucks, okay? This is, to me, one of the best pieces of Pokemon-related fiction. And I'm not saying that it's not fan fiction, not fan based, not fan created. Fiction, period. Putting it against the movies, putting it against the anime, putting it against the books, putting it against the manga, all of it. This hits something nothing else comes close to. And you're looking at it, all right? You're looking at the cover. You say, boy, that looks like it was made by 12. It probably was, all right? This was 2011 this came out. It probably was. And it kind of hits into those Nuzlocke tropes a little bit at the beginning of, like, Nuzlocke's comics. They have to be edgy. They have to be blood and gore, lots of swearing. Like, everyone's stupid. You know, you gotta be comedic. You know, this was the thought process at the time. You know, these were teens becoming adults, looking at children's games and trying to figure out, okay, well, what happens when a wild Pokemon faints? It doesn't go to a Poke Center, so is it just dead? What happens when a Voltorb explodes? You know, like, these were the questions were asked because there was just limitations in the game we couldn't really deal with. And so they filled it in with, you know, oh, it blew up. It literally blew up. There's nothing left of it. It's gone. There's fucking fragments in the stratosphere of gore, you know, like, what happened with a guillotine, you know, like these kinds of things, these thought process, because we couldn't just let childhood things be. We had to apply edgier, more mature subject matter to them. And unfortunately, when we connotate edgy, mature subject matter, we think gore, we think swearing, we think sex, nudity, you know, all of those really titular things. But we don't really think about hard questions or questions that can't be answered or dealing with things that are hard inside, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, so it starts with that. I need you to go read it, okay? And I'm gonna get to that. I'm going to get to the process of reading that because it's a fucking process, okay? We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But you need to understand. This is like, it's my obsession right now. It's so fucking good. It's like, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's not. It's so bad. It's good. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's so good. It's fucking good. Okay, it's good because it's good. It's not good because it's funny. It's good because it's good. All right, it's genuine. It's real. It's good. Someone put their emotion into this fucking comic. This guy, whoever, I've got fucking links to shit. I'm gonna try and figure out a way to put them places. Like, I'll let you know whoever this is, and I'm gonna tell you now. I don't think he or she or whomever. I don't think they're in this anymore. Okay, they finished this in like 2020. It took them 9 years to finish this comic, and I'm so glad they did. But I've looked around for them to figure out who they are, where they are, what they're doing now, because I want to read more of what they have, and they're like, nothing that they've done since then is anything to do with Pokemon. Okay, I think they're done with this. I think this was just a personal, like, an act of love, and then it's gone. You know, that kind of deal. So I'm not gonna harass or hassle this individual or any kind of form. Um, Beyond one fucking thing, and it's not even really a big thing. Well, it's kind of a big thing, but it's not like you need to go back and finish. Like you need to make more of this. I want you to make more of this. Do more Pokemon, please, please, sir. I want some more. You know, like not that shit. Um, and if I sound unhinged, because I am. Like I need you to understand the depths of where this goes to for me. Okay, this is such a good fucking comic. Um, it deals with emotion and like it. There's like, oh my god, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. I just keep getting so scramble brain. Give me a second. So, Nuzlocke comics are good for two things. Well, three. We'll go with three. Okay. So a lot of these artists are amateur artists. Like, there are webcomics out there, and they're webcomic artists, and their shit is absolutely fucking like it's better than anything that's actually been put to print. You know, like Unsounded, Gone with the Blast Wave, Kill 6 Billion Demons, that fucking nutty Nordic one. Like there's these guys out and these people out there who are so talented in what they do. Um, how do I segue from this shit? I've boxed myself in. So there's no limit to what a webcomic artist is, but a lot of these people are considered amateurs still, right? So a lot of webcomic artists are amateurs. A lot of Nuzlocke comics were very much amateurs because this was just a side thing for them. This was a project, just something they wanted to do to get it out there. So they would host. I can say it's fuck me. I'm just gonna say some of this shit was not good. Okay, some of shit was not the fucking best on the planet, and there's not like I'm trying to not sound like a fucking asshole when I talk about this because I'm not the best artist myself. All right, I'm an artist, but I'm not good. I understand that. There is a degree in art to what the artist is trying to convey to you and what you interpret. Okay, and that like at the far fucking end of that shit, we've got like the postmodernist era where it's like a blank canvas or someone splashed paint and you're standing there trying to look pensive, not seeing a fucking thing because there's like this 3-paragraph fucking scrawl underneath it of what the artist had intended. Okay, there's that side. Alright, then we've got like photorealism on the other, where you can look at it and you can tell the artist was trying to represent a photograph with paint. There's those two, like, comprehension, I guess, is a good word for it. Comprehension. And even if you're not like a professional artist or you don't draw much or your art's just not the greatest on the fucking planet, you can get away with having plenty of comprehension even when art is simple, right? And then like we're thinking about comic strips, and like Sunday comics like Doonesbury, or one of my favorite webcomics now I found is called Freefall. This guy's been like doing this shit from like the 90s. It's an ancient fucking comic, but he's been updating. He updates 3 days a week to this fucking day. The absolute maniac. Because his art style is very simple. His colors are very basic, and he does 3 panels and no more, right? He doesn't get artsy-fartsy. He doesn't make giant fucking animated GIFs. He doesn't try and turn them into, like, Flash when Flash was still a thing. It's just 3-panel comics, very basic, understandable, and he still tells a fantastic story, okay? So you can tell a fantastic story with simple art, alright? I like simple art. I love simple art. It's great. It's good stuff, right? There's still some Nuzlocke comics I have a hard time stomaching because the art's just like, there's simple art telling a good story, and then there's like, this looks like a 6-year-old drew this. Still, like an adult drew this, but it's still got some stuff that's like triggering like these like this gag uh this gag reflex in my brain. It's like I'm reading a kindergartner's work and there's blood everywhere. The people are swearing. You know, it's like that, right? So there's that realm of a person's trying their very best, but their skills are just not matching their intent. All right, so there's that one there. Okay, two, and oh boy, are we gonna get into it? We gotta talk about the places that these people purviewed before, and I'm gonna say is just DeviantArt and everything, everything that implies. And you get, you know what I'm talking about with like Sonichu or the, I don't even want to say the other one. I don't even want to put those words into the air, but you know what I'm talking about, where the art is not made for a purpose beyond like exploitation. You know, like this is someone's kink, this is someone's fetish in comic form, and there's some of that in Nuzlocke. You gotta like every once in a while you'll get one of those comics, and like this is not that. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is absolutely not that. Period. Um, and then the last part, the one is again the edgy, like just like we need to take Pokemon and reimagine it. We need to reimagine it into a more edgy and mature subject matter, and I've just now realized the irony of that with Pal Worlds just came out. It's great. Um, so that's kind of like the three dimensions of Nuzlocke comics, and um, there's a fucking meme out there. And I kind of wanted to find this before I started up. It was it's like two panels, and it's like the very start of the fucking webcomic is just simple art, simple gags, you know, that fine shit. And then like the end of the comic, and it's a fucking like battle with God, and everything's fucking beautiful, you know, like the escalation, not just of like the fucking story, but the artist's creativity and the time they had to put into it, just like exponentially expanding. Um, and I'm going to tell you, like, the art is good, okay? The art is fucking good, and it gets better. All right, this isn't this art sucks and it gets better. Like, this art is good. This is good work. It's good art. It borders on simplicity, but like the fucking watercolors that this guy does, like look at this. This is another cover for one of the chapters, like, and it's gorgeous, you know, like, and you can tell who everybody is. Like, that's a Nidoqueen, that's a Wartortle, that's a Victory Bell, that's a Fearow, you know, like it. He was able to clearly convey what he wanted, and on top of that, do it in a very very gorgeous fashion, you know. And the art style is unique. It's good. The emotions he's able to convey is amazing. Um, like non-verbal cues you pick up on Pokemon's faces, like expressions. Like there's just tropes that Nuzlocks have to have. Like the Pokemon have to talk, so the player has someone to talk to and banter with and go back and forth. You know, the Pokemon talk. They usually have human emotions and human rationale. And when other Pokemon die, they mourn them. They're sad, you know, and like that happens a lot in this, and you feel it, you know. And I'm not gonna go into the fucking weeds tonight with this. That's gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna do that on Twitter. I'm gonna make a fucking. I'm gonna unload everything I love about this comic. I'm gonna go over every fucking character, every fucking Pokemon. Okay, every fucking one, and what I loved about them. Okay, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be terrible. You should just stay off Twitter tomorrow. Okay, just don't go near it. It's gonna be bad. I'm going to let loose the mental diarrhea on this fucking webcomic because it's just so fucking good. It deserves to be known. All right, it deserves to be. This deserves to be at the level of Nuzlocke itself, the actual comic. This needs to be one of those ones people immediately think of. Okay, that's how good this is. Um, And that brings us into the next problem of, you might be asking, holy shit, this sounds good. You've won me over. You've got me. Okay. How do I go read it? And that's the problem, you know? Cause it's on DeviantArt. It's on the Nuzlocke forums where you can still find most of the surviving Nuzlocke comics. I talked about this with the creepypasta hacks, the Pokemon Black hacks, um, back on Halloween. How we've lost a significant chunk of this fan-made stuff because no one has bothered to fucking keep it, you know? They're like, oh, ha, this kind of fucking sucks, and we immediately bend it, thinking that someone else would have it, and no one has it, you know? It's just gone. It's gone for good. A lot of these comics are the same way, where they're all hosted on, like, PhotoBucket, and then PhotoBucket disappeared, and all of the fucking digital copies of these comics are gone, and the person who drew them just, like, he threw the pages away, so they're gone for good. You know, that kind of shit. So there's the Nuzlocke forum, and the Nuzlocke forum for this particular comic goes back to DeviantArt. And because this is a mature comic, because there's a lot of mature themes and things happening in it, you need an account. That's number one. So you gotta go make a DeviantArt account, which I know you already have, you fuckers. Do not lie to me. The big issue is it's on two fucking accounts. Like, it ends on one and picks up on the other. And I'll be completely fucking honest. My big fucking crusade this last week has been just trying to track down every page. I have all the pages saved now, I think. I've got them all. And I'm going to figure out where I can put them. And I'm willing to make like 27 fucking Imager bot counts just to upload the whole thing in its entirety and keep it visible where people can read it and enjoy it. Because it deserves to be read and deserves to be enjoyed. So there's DeviantArt, and I'm going to say that's probably the most forward. The artist had initially put the entire thing on a website, like Smack Jeeves or something, and Smack Jeeves disappeared, like it shut down. So that's gone. So that was the first place you could have read the whole thing in one spot. It's now gone for good. The next one is he put it on another one, like Comic Fury, I think, is the next site. But he only went up to like chapter 83 out of 114. Or page 83 out of 114. So there's like the last half of the book, or last half of the comics just gone. Like, it's not there. And he hasn't uploaded anything in 3 years. So I kind of want to reach out and say, hey man, listen, I know you're a busy guy and you probably don't even think about this anymore. Could you just sit down for like an hour and finish this for us, please? Like, we don't want to lose it. We want to keep it going. It was amazing what you did. Just put the rest up, please. It's like 40 pages. Come on. Or let someone else do it. Okay. Because the last option we have, children, the furries, because Pokemon is furry stuff, and they archive they're doing such a much better job of archiving shit, because of their niche fetishes and degeneracy, that they have the entire comic, and that's where I found it. I found the entire fucking comic on, was it 923? And if you need any more help going that route, looking for it, just come to me privately on Twitter or YouTube, or you can send me messages on Twitch now, I guess, like when I'm not streaming. Like, I've got some fucking gamer girl e-thought bot things trying to sell me a car warranty or something. there's ways to get to me, and I will guide you where you need to go. But I'm not gonna say it here because I've already sunk myself as it is. All right. I'm hoping that 40 minutes in, no one of any consequence is listening to this anymore. But the fact is, like, it's getting hard to keep this together, and like that's not just this; it's everything, right? We just had another emulator site get the takedown hit. Um, it's getting hard. Things are getting bad. Uh, so yeah, it's a hard life. I will provide as much, like I'll find the artist's Twitter, the artist's Tumblr. I'll put them in there because he put them in the last page of the comic, and it seems like he's more active on Tumblr than Twitter. Um, Amazingly, I have no idea anyone's still there. Um, if you're curious about what they've been doing lately, um, yeah, you owe it to yourself. Set aside like a day or two. It took me about a day to read the whole thing. Um, it's like 500 pages, I think, and some of them are like big long pages, like several pages put together into one giant fucking PNG. Um, go read it. Ignore the bile that comes out of my mouth tomorrow. Come back after you've read it. We can have a good discussion. You can sob tears with me. Good God, I mourn this guy's Beedrill. Okay, I want you to understand that. Like, these weren't just Pokemon. These were characters with actual motivations, with actual flaws. They got angry with each other. They loved each other. Like, this was a story about people, not just Pokemon. It was amazing. I'm trying not to. I'm not. It's the best story ever. I'm not gonna fucking throw that out there. But like, because I don't want you like you going in like expecting Titanic and you get like a fucking Steamboat Willie or some shit. Like, it's good. Okay. I implore you to pursue this. I implore you to go out there and look. I've talked for goddamn 40 minutes about this. That should be something. All right. That should be an indicator. This is not just something to blow off. This is not just like, and no one's paying me. Again, I'm like, my whole one person watching the stream. You think anyone's gonna fucking shove money at me to show their shit? No, no. I'm doing this because I love it, because I want it to be around for another 10 years. And it's like it's on shaky ground as it is, like everything else. Um, I'm going to try and figure out how I can get the whole thing uploaded to somewhere, one place where you can watch it without an account or read it without an account, without trying to log into anything. And I'm just like, I'm realizing the impossibility of that task now, because like Imager is trying to become Reddit. Reddit is Reddit. The Chans are the Chans. I don't know. I could make a fucking another throwaway Twitter, but no one will see that because it's Twitter. It's like I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out that. That's gonna be my bridge to burn because I want to, I want to ensure that this amazing work is still around. Okay, but that's The Hard Life. Please go read it. Um, yeah, we're gonna move on. I've tapped myself out. I think that's the right one. Yeah, there we go. If you want to know who my favorite was of the whole comic, it was JoJo the Beedrill. And it's not just because she's a Beedrill. She's the best Beedrill. She makes me sad just thinking about her. I gotta put her away. Okay, so let's talk Pokemon now. Finally, a bit emotionally drained from all that. So that was the big thing. That was the big, huge fuck thing. And we could start actually playing Pokemon. Whew. Okay.